Hello, everyone. This is Brother Benson Media, and today I'm glad to be joined by two of my panelists, Miguda and Ayaga. How are you doing, gentlemen? Miguda, habari yako?
Niko salama kakangu, hali yako vipi?
Hali yangu shwari. Labda kama wewe ndio uko na jambo, mi naona hali yangu iko poa. Ayaga, habari gani?
Niko mzuri sana, labda nyinyi. Naona Miguda ako poa, buheri wa afya. How are you my brother?
Eh,
Niko salama kakangu, we are managing.
Okay,
okay.
that's nice.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Today is the Monday. As you know, there are so many things that took place during the weekend, including when it comes to entertainment, the issue of Willie Paul and Diamond Platinums. It's something that is trending on the entertainment field. Also, when we go on the same weekend, CS for Sport, Murkomen was heckled. Things are getting hotter for especially those who are in administration. Especially, it was a heckle in Eldoret. So that is among issues that we will try to discuss and look at it in perspective way. But something that is quite interesting today, current president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, visited the fourth president in his home in Gatundu, and the issue of handshake was mentioned, especially during Embu, where the in the social media or even in the corridors of journalism, people were speculating that there is a handshake that is coming, or there's a plot or a plan for the two head of states to meet, the former and the current. And today it has happened, and is something that is also has taken the headlines. To start with you, Ayaga, what is your take on impromptu visit of the current president to the fourth president? What could be the reason?
Thank you, my brother Benson. You know, in politics, there is nothing like impromptu visit. A head of state cannot just wake up and saying, I was passing to go and launch a certain or look after my cows. Then I saw that, let me say hi. So it is not an impromptu visit. It is in politics, there is no coincidence. Everything is well planned, well choreographed to send a certain information to the public. So this was a planned thing. Maybe it was not in the public domain, but it is something that, if not now, it is something that have been in making for a very long time. And
Oh,
it was seen, there is after Gen Z, and I think we discussed it here with Beguda and Makobura, that
mm,
after Gen Z, Raila came out and Baba said, Uhuru Kenyatta called me to reach out to the president. But before I could call president called me. That alone is analogy of
yeah,
how things happen very fast in politics during that time. You know,
yeah, mhm,
the political figures in this country, the political class was threatened. And what was their main agenda? At least to have one of their own at peace, they had to come together to
mm,
save the establishment, because wanyama ni wale wale.
mm,
Nyani ni msituni, wanachange. Hii forest ikiitwa UDA, ingine itaitwa Jubilee, ingine inaitwa ODM, ingine itaitwa hata Kenya, ingine Kenya hata tujaona. So it is only the name that will change, but the players remains the same. So this was actually a planned thing. It was seen coming. For me, I saw it coming. By Raila Odinga's statement, until even the Jeremiah Kioni came out say, Raila is lying. And what made me know again that the Raila statement was true then the way they treated the deputy president, now former, the former deputy president. They were in unison. You never heard of Raila opposing Kenyatta or the Kenyatta faction opposing it. That told you that something actually was making. And I think that's where our deputy president made a mistake. He made a mistake with the Kenyattas. He made a problem with Moise. He created a problem with Odingas. So he left himself. And when he touched Ruto called those people, reached out very fast and dealt with him. So this was something that have been seen and it is coming. And I think the more of such political engagement, we are going to see them in the near future.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Yaga. Miguda, what is your take on the impromptu visit by the current president to the fourth, especially in his rural home, Gatundu? Is it called Ishaweri or where?
It is called, the village is
Yeah.
even
Check,
after
check.
Ayagas just corrected you that they do, you still insist on impromptu.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I'm
Okay.
saying
Kindly check your internet.
even after Ayagas just anyway. What I wanted to say is that the president in politics, again, I'll agree with Ayaga that there is nothing like impromptu.
Okay. There's a problem with
There's no coincidence in politics for
Mm.
general such formation. Expect some things that are going to come in the near future.
Yeah.
I have two perspectives of looking at it.
Yeah.
One, the political class, when they were threatened, first let us remember that a united minority cannot be defeated by a divided majority. We are the majority, but we are divided. But they are minority, but they are
Hey.
united. There's no way we can defeat them. They realize that if they are united, when majority of the people are united, they are going to defeat them as a political class. They had no option but to come. That's what we said previously, that they are regrouping. They're regrouping.
Okay. Miguda, check your internet. I think there's a problem with Miguda's internet. Miguda, kindly
Can you hear
check
me?
your internet. You are breaking. Can you please check your internet?
I'm breaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is really breaking.
Yeah, it's really breaking.
Okay.
Ayaga, when Miguda is checking his internet, and this is the press from the office of the fourth president. Uh, is okay. I can go into another paragraph. One of the paragraph, it says it is in light of this. Okay, it is normal and common practice, and indeed recommended, that the sitting and the former president engage in consult on matters of for benefit benefit of the citizenry. In this light of this, His Excellency President Ruto paid a courtesy call to the fourth president of Kenya, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, and in his Hichaweri residence in Gatundu. The two engaged discussed pertaining to Kenya's national interest, particularly matters that have been raised by the citizens and as challenges and handicaps to their well-being. This include animosity within political ranks that created hostility atmosphere, leading to harassment of individuals perceived to be in opposition or hostile to the government, matters of taxation that have been raised by Kenyans and possible situation to them, matters of insecurity, best practice in citizen policing, and matters of human capital at all levels capable of resolving these challenges. President Kenyatta encouraged President Ruto to build broader political consensus that ensures inclusivity in governments, development, and all levels. This also discussed need for vibrant opposition that is crucial to our democracy. Those are some of the uh, issues that, as far, this is what Tanzania, the press from. So he has talked about issues that are affecting the nation. Are you in agreement with that, Miguda?
Can you hear me right now?
Yeah,
If you could allow me to finish my point because I was breaking.
yeah.
I was saying I agree with the Yaga that in politics there's no coincidence. And it is always that way because they're just making those photos for people to send a certain message that expect certain information. I was having two views of it. One,
Mhm,
regarding Gachagua might be in the mixed because they realize that the people were united, the majority were united against the minority, against the political class. They have to sacrifice one of them, and that sacrificial lamb was Gachagua. They have to sacrifice him to exit the stage so that they can go ahead to divide the people, those who are pro Gachagua and those who are anti Gachagua. That one could have played. Another view I'm looking at it is that maybe they have seen the rising of Gachagua in the Mount Kenya region. Because Gachagua has made enemy with the Odinga, Moi, Ruto, he has made enemy with the Kenyatta family, they cannot see him rising in that region. They have to come together to cool down Gachagua from rising the Mount Kenya kingpin. By doing so, President Ruto has decided to visit Uhuru Kenyatta to send a signal that Uhuru Kenyatta is still the Mount Kenya kingpin. There is no room for Ruto to engage Gachagua. Let him engage Uhuru Kenyatta. Even if Uhuru Kenyatta is retired, is at home, he can engage him for political future of that region rather than
yeah.
engaging Gachagua. They are trying to demean Gachagua rising in that region that you are an outsider. It is Uhuru Kenyatta who is an insider. That's how I could have looked at it, Brother Benson.
Okay. Thank you so much for that. But now, Ayaga, you have been here. When we look at the history of, especially ever since the President William Ruto took over office in the last 2 years, the office of the current president and the office of the fourth president, we know that there has been that hostility uh, between those two offices to an extent where there was a time the security officers were sent to um, the Uhuru Kenyatta's kids. You know, you remember back and forth between Kanzeden about the disbursement of the money that is being used in the office of the president. But now we are seeing them now having this handshake or this visit. Does it mean that they're trying to mend fences or what is happening?
Oh, thank you very much. One thing I will tell you is only one thing. Our president is in a disparate situation. He found himself, even after launching Gachagua out of the system, he still finds himself very unpopular. You know, if they could have met at Arambe House or invite Uhuru Kenyatta at his home, yeah, in the, or at the state house, I mean, or Arambe House, we could have said maybe the former president have seen the interest of one with William Ruto. But by William Ruto going to the former president's home fast since election, that tells you how disparate our president is. And we always say in politics that disparate times call for disparate measures. So anything, because if you look at the bloggers, I was even reading the Tumbi's tweet when Miguda was giving his side of the story. I'm seeing that it is the president's side that are elevating that thing to a certain height. Is making it big. They are making it big to downplay the Gashagua's factor in Mount Kenya. It is them who are now disparate for the Mount Kenya. The thing they used to held before, they have lost and they are now looking for it. Even if that will be, the president will go again to look for Mtoto wa Mamangina in Mwichaweri. He will go there not once, not twice, not thrice. He will go there at least to make appealing to the people of Mount Kenya that we are even together with the Uhuru Kenyatta. So that alone tells you that the president is in a very bad situation. Never on earth you saw Uhuru going to see Kibaki. because his political lights are now dim. No, all this we know our president. It is a very egotic man. Is a chloro. It is called what? A choleric kind of human being. These people who have certain characters of soft-hearted. Yeah, he can, for him to jump fast. He went to look for Raila when he was desperate for Raila. Raila never looked for him. In fact, according to the statement of Raila, Raila had been told to look for him. But before even Raila could reach him, he jumped and looked for Raila. Now the president is so much desperate, even after having Raila on his side, that he's now going to look for the fourth president. And remember, his administration has done it. I think there had been, I don't know, it is by sabotage or by design or by Jove of God that this administration did worst to the former president. That is what has placed president where he is now today. Yeah, he is now today. So they made a lot of mistakes, and I think they are trying now. William Ruto, being a shrewd politician, also somebody who is smart politically, is trying to undo the damage that I don't think in Mount Kenya it will be very hard on him. And I'm telling you, if you want to see the worst side of Mount Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta should make a mistake of walking with William Ruto heading to Mount Kenya. That is a free ride for Gachagua, and Gachagua will run over them. Because number one, the Mount Kenya people had issues with Uhuru because of Raila Odinga. Now they are having issues more with William Ruto because Raila Odinga. You know, if Uhuru Kenyatta comes in that mix, I would have advised, because if you read the statement of William Ruto and the statement of Uhuru Kenyatta, you can see a little bit differences. Yeah,
Yeah, I was
telling
coming.
you, yeah, Uhuru is talking to the ground, and Ruto is also appealing to the people, but in a different way. So
Okay.
there is a pull and push hapo katikati.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, my brother Laban Misiani. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're doing well. And this is what Laban Misiani is saying. However, the, the complaint shall win by 66%. Okay. So, Ayaga, you've mentioned something about the information that is coming from the office of the fourth president and the one that is coming from State House. If you look at them, they're speaking differently. There's there's nowhere, I think, like they they have like commonality, because the both leaders acknowledge the challenging global environment affecting many countries, including Kenya, caused by complex interplay of factors that disrupt effects of COVID-19, the war in Ukraine. That was not in the one for the fourth president. On number 4, the president thanked Kenyatta for laying down strong foundation that has enabled the government to implement key programs under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. That was not mentioned in the president's the fourth president. Number 5, they also underscored the importance of cultivating nationalistic, patriotic, and harmonious working relationship among all Kenyans and stakeholders, including the three arms of government. So when you read that, when you read the statement that is from State Out and the one that was done by the office of the fourth president, they are reading from this different script, because in the State House they don't talk about the taxes, they don't talk about the security issue. They talk, the only place I think they might be having about common statement is the Excellency also acknowledged the Kenya leading role in promoting peace and security in the East Africa region through diplomatic and peace. So that is the only place like I feel like they are speaking for under the same voice. So Miguda, when you look at both statements, what does it tell you?
In my view, I believe that the two people, Mr. Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, they their own meetings, or maybe it was planned by themselves. They have called
Yeah.
each other. The people who are blogging for them, or the people who are drafting for them, those tweets you have read, do not know what happened between the two. They're just writing on what are the probability, because you understand the role of Uhuru Kenyatta currently in Africa and Ruto being an head of state. So they are just trying to make them to interlink with the current happening, as that is their profession. That's what they are employed to do. Because after the photo was taken, you have to write exactly what you think.
Yeah.
You don't need Uhuru Kenyatta or Uhuru to tell you what to write. That aside, in my view, the main important thing here is that the two parties who met might have met here, one unity from William Ruto and the other one in political interest. The reason why I'm talking about unity is because the William Ruto, after realizing that he cannot achieve whatever he promised people prior 2022 presidential election, whatever he promised people he cannot achieve, he brought a new narrative, broad-based government, unifying the country, and they are excluding Gachagua that this person does not want the unity of the country. That's sideline him. But for him, is for unity. Now we want to demonstrate to the people that that unity has gone beyond what people have said, that unity is in western region of the country. He's going to Mount Kenya. By going to Mount Kenya, he's going to Uhuru Kenyatta, that even Uhuru Kenyatta has come to the unity. The only person is an enemy of the unity is Gachagua, not Uhuru Kenyatta. That's why he's trying to send that picture to the people that the unity we are talking about, bringing Kenyans together. We have brought the people, even the people who are our former enemies, political opponents. We have brought them into the government.
Yeah.
That signal. The second one I'm seeing about interest. Interest is always in politics, constant. And if you see politicians who are once opponents coming together, there must be an interest. We cannot exclude that there was no interest in their
Yeah.
meeting. There must be an interest, because currently we are having a vacancy in the like the current. There is no CS for interior in the country. We have acting CS for interior, Musalia Mudavadi. What if William Ruto has seen it was because there is a pressure from Azimio, that the current Azimio minus ODM, that they are bringing people into board. People like Matiang'i are being brought, people
Mhm.
like other who are in the ministry of Uhuru Kenyatta. What if they can negotiate that Uhuru Kenyatta bring us one of your former minister to occupy this seat for the CS?
Yeah.
Also, you want to cool the temperature of the country. That one can play. And lastly, there are things which we cannot omit, things like 48 laws of power, things like some phrases whereby they say that put your friends close, but your enemy closer. Or if you want to, in politics, sometimes try to engage your enemies, you bring them together and appease them so that they can realize, they can give you some certain information. Maybe you want to get some certain information from certain quarters, and the person to give that information to Suru Kenyatta. Those are the probability of that meeting. Brother Benson, back to you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me go to the Twitter, to the tweet, the X handle of um, prominent people who are very vocal on the X. We have Francis Gaido. Gaido says, ICC brother reunion. That is what he says. It is a bit to diffuse tension and pacify a restless population who want him out before the end of this year. Okay, then there's Okuru Aukot. Why are Kenyans surprised at the reunion or a visitation between Uhuru Kenyatta and President William Ruto? These folks came long way and they've been friends for a long time. If one is a dynasty, the other is a creature of the dynasty. They are tied at the hip. Forget those. That is what is there on the. There's also friends called Wambo. We are not boarding. Hata Ulambe Thika Superhighway from Globe Roundabout to Del Monte Shop in Thika, Sugoi Aturudi. We have rejected you with all our parents, our grandparents, and our children. Hata Uoshe Uhuru Kenyatta Migu, we will never again. So those are comments. Then we have some also Office of the Fourth President. This is President William Ruto pays a courtesy call to former President Uhuru Kenyatta. This Yoko, Uhuru Kenyatta is now called to put off the Catholic, Gen Z, and Kenyans rising fire. Not even Rachel Ruto prayers will stop this. That is what The undisputed Mount Kenya kingpin is none other than Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Kikuyu Meru Zembu cut ties with Kasongo the day he impeached Rigiji. That is written by that. So those are some of the comments we are getting from the X space. So many people have different views. Ayaga, what is your take? And there's somebody has said something here very, very, very important, that the President Uhuru Kenyatta has been brought on board to quell the thirst from Gen Z to Catholics to the hostility that the president is facing right now. Is it true? And how will that influence uh, uh, the the hostility that the president is facing?
Okay. I think that is the correct position, even according to me. Uhuru Kenyatta either is brought on board, either even if he has not accepted to be on the board,
Mhm.
the purpose, political is perception.
Yeah.
So the perception of this thing, and that's why you can see many people, they don't want to read the statement, they're just sharing the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, because politics is perception. So the perception they want to send is that William Ruto is now even reaching out to the former president, and they are in a good working relationship. They are trying to do one thing, to isolate Rigathi Gachagua. And even, I think you saw yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua, since the attack in Limuru, he has been underground, addressing people through the phone calls, and people has been responding. So yesterday,
Yeah.
Rigathi Gachagua came out, and he came out with the security, the so-called men in black.
Yes.
Those are here.
Yes.
Those are supporters. There is a very big difference. What people always don't know in politics. There is the difference between supporters and fans. Supporters can leave you anytime to support another person. That is what has happened to William Ruto in Mount Kenya and the majority of his supporters. Yeah. But Raila Odinga have fans. They are suicidal fans. They are fanatic fans. They are even ready to die for that man. And that is what they are creating in Rigathi Gachagua. You remember there were a time Raila Odinga security were withdrawn, and some men walked from Kibera and went and sleep around Karen, saying they are protecting him. That is what will happen. And Rigathi Gachagua has come out with the men that will protect him, and is telling them that now, if you want the fight, we are ready to fight you. And now, you know what is happening. Rigathi Gachagua has succeeded in kicking Ruto out of Mount Kenya, and now you want to extend hands. I am coming to you. You will very soon see him in Western Kenya, in Coast, and in other places. And that the messaging of Rigathi Gachagua, it is what government fear than Gachagua himself. Because the other day on media, he told us he has some things he will be spoiling as the time go. So sometimes the president has realized, and it is fear of unknown. There is that thing we call it fear of unknown in politics. You fear, but you don't know why you fear. And if you are asked, what are you fearing? You still don't know what you're fearing. But there is that fear. Now, that fear of unknown is what has caught the president to desperately look for Uhuru Kenyatta, and they will trend all those pictures. I think it is for intelligent purpose. They are seeing the reaction of Kenya. Ruto, for now, I don't know what he will do best, but for now, as things stand, it is very hard for him. If I am him, or I could have been in a position to advise him,
Yeah.
he should be silent and at least work miracles and let Kenya have that relief of in economic situation. Lower the price of things, at least try to fix some things, one or two, 3 or 4 projects in every corner in the country. Make money circulate around the country, and then let Kenyans themselves say, at least things are improving. Then let him walk and go out there. Sometimes it is good for president or even a leader to go into isolation and work wonders in silence and let people call you out. At least, Mr. President, we are seeing this. But this entanglement between the president and the church, The president, the young people. The president, now the Gen Z, the Twitter people, the TikTok people, and this X-Space people. It is a very dangerous for him. He's creating more enemy than friends.
Okay, thank you so much. And somebody also has a very different view here. He's saying the Gatundu handshake focus on Kenya candidacy for AU. President William Ruto had his predecessor, President Uhuru Kenyatta, to rally his allies both in East Africa, Central, and across Africa to support Kenya candidacy Raila Amolo Odinga. President Ruto, Uhuru, Raila, uniting Kenya. That is another perspective. Miguda, do you agree with that?
I don't agree with that on a lighter note.
Yeah.
Let him not take it as offensive. There's no intention. The reason why I'm not agreeing with that comment is because we have seen the East African head of state in Nairobi.
Yeah.
They came under leadership of William Ruto and they endorsed Raila's candidature for the AUC. There's absolutely no idea that they will only listen to Uhuru Kenyatta. The issue of AUC is not at stake right now because Raila himself has also moved across Africa, even South Africa, trying to reach the head of state. The links that Uhuru had are similar with the links that Raila and Ruto had. In my view, the handshake is not for the AUC. It can be as per his view. What I want to say is that when people are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta, even if Ruto tried to outmaneuver his allies and his enemies in the political arena, people are saying that Uhuru Kenyatta has one vote. Uhuru Kenyatta
Yeah.
kuna kura moja.
Mhm.
Even if you go to Uhuru Kenyatta, it's going to create more disunity. It's going to create more of enmity between him and the people of Mount Kenya. Because people will view him as a leader who want only his way and he can do anything to get his way, even at the cost of the people. Right now, he's saying that Uhuru Kenyatta laid a foundation that has enabled the KK government to pick off easily and they are continuing the projects that Uhuru left in office. And the same
Mhm.
people have been telling people that Uhuru Kenyatta did nothing. Uhuru Kenyatta, those stall projects for Uhuru Kenyatta is now contradicting his previous statements, his previous speech. He's being people to be stupid that people don't understand what's going on in the country. People are aware that currently, the point here I want to say is that he promised people about the unity of the country. He want to demonstrate to the people that I mean whatever I said, and as usually I always say what I mean. The unity has gone across. In Anima Kenya, the only person I view as a figure of that region is Uhuru Kenyatta. By bringing him into board, already I bring Mount Kenya into board. Even if you read the comments, you have only read about whatever the two blogs have wrote on the X spaces, but go deep and even some four comments. You'll find that the people are in disagreement of that handshake. Majority of the people just try to engage those comments. Back
Now,
to you, Bez.
thank you so much. And this is what the Deputy President, His Excellency Kithure Kindiki, rapprochement between President William Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta works well for the national unity, stability, and enables the country to collectively focus on addressing national development priorities. That is what the Deputy President is saying. And let me read something from Langat here. What is Mr. Langat saying? Mr. Langat say, let me start with the first one. Mr. Langat say, I quote, Kasongo must have no amount of visit to Uhuru or any other tribe will help me. Mount Kenya citizens are not fools anymore. Kenyans knows Kasongo is a wicked, dangerous, pathological liar and a conman. Okay, let's wait for that. Langat says the war Kenyans have is between Kenyans versus Kasongo plus his thug thieves. So Kenyans has zero trust with Kasongo now. Forever, Kasongo is trying to uh, what con, fool, brainwash Kenyans by visiting Uhuru Kenyatta. And now, this is quite very much important, and because like what we usually have right now, with the majority of Kenya has this trust deficit with the current president. How will bringing the former president on board make that trust to to be trusted? How will he make the president to be trusted again, Mr. Yaga?
I don't know. Maybe miracles work. I thought the last miracle that happens when Jesus was alive. So since then we have not seen miracles. It is going to be very difficult for him. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to make it. But as we speak, you know what people are saying is this one. If the president can be ruthless in his first term with a mind, he knows very well that he needs your vote to
Yeah.
be in power again in 2022, and is so ruthless in the first years of his first term in office. What if you have given him kura in 20 vote in 2027, and now his incumbency, so he don't need your votes in 2032? What can he do? Those are the questions people are asking. You know, if Raila Odinga cannot sanitize you, Raila Odinga sanitized Moi after election of 1997. Raila Odinga sanitized Kibaki after election of 2007. And Raila Odinga sanitized Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta with only 1 month after the elections of 2017. Raila Odinga, almost 4, 6, 7 years, months after doing a proper handshake with William Ruto, even going ahead, something he has never done to any other president, offering experts to the government, sanitation of William Ruto, even using Jake, yeah, he has not come to be clean. So it is hard for him. It is hard for him. That's why he must look for Raila Odinga. He must look for Uhuru Kenyatta. And I think very soon the president will even run to Kalonzo Musyoka, because there is a kind of a revolution that is brewing in this country. And this, I think they are doing it because this is now the first president in the Republic of Kenya, and I think even in the world, that is running a government minus a correct or a financial bill in place. It is the only president in the world. Yeah. So the next financial bill,
Yeah.
Kenyans are planning to bring it down. And I think all this running around and about is to quell the Kenyans people so that Kasongo can have his place and at least have one credible and recognizable finance bill that he can use to do his things in the until the end of his legacy, because it's not easy for him. People are planning, and in fact there is a rumors here. People have started singing reject, because there were public participation. People had rejected, and reject is on the hair. And with churches are also giving contrary voices. He is in a tight corner. He is in a calculus, a point of no return. He had to swallow his pride. And very soon, I think he will even change his political approach to how he approached Kenya. I'm telling you, just watch him heading to December. He will be more friendly. He will be more telling you how he understands your problems, your whatever. He will have those theatrics in the near future, but it is not easy for him. He have to work extra and extra hard.
Okay, thank you. And
And
this is what Langat Msemokweli says. When Kenyans ask for accountability, corruption, free transparency, zero tribalism, wastage of taxpayers' money, impunity, auctioning of our assets and resources to foreigners, Adani and Kasongo cases. Now, let's come to the accountability and transparency. Now, when the president now is bringing in the or he will or he is in the process of bringing in the face of the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, how is that how is that this one going to elevate his competency, especially on issues that are being asked, especially like accountability, the corruption-free transparency, and the tribalism. And if you're very keen enough, the tribalism is one of those statements that will make the topic or will gain the topic towards 2027 general election. I think on Wednesday we will be having Professor Ogola here to discuss with us about the tribalism. So, Mr. Miguda, how will the tribalism or the asking for those accountability, and now you are bringing in the face of Uhuru Kenyatta, maybe to to bring that hostility, and say that, okay, Kenyans are united, because that is what it is geared to.
You know, as people should never don't know how to put it. If you want to trust a politician or if you want to trust Kasongo came with such juicy words during the previous campaign. People believed him. Most people, the Mount Kenya people, after the campaigns, after the elections were done, people turned against him because he was not delivering anything he promised to the people. Right now, he's trying to reach those political figures in those regions, trying to make it look like he's uniting the country, the nation. Because he can do anything to please the public. He can do anything to persuade the public for him to be elected. But now the worst part of it now is pleasing the public for him to go for the second term. What if he get that second term? He will not even bother about going to please the public, even reaching out to people. Raila, having been seen as someone who can sanitize you or can wash your sins,
Mm,
Raila has been a loser in all those events. Because with him, whenever he sanitizes you, he's making you to be friendly and acceptable among his supporters. But what about the opponent supporters? They hate Raila to date. Reason why I'm saying that, when he tried to sanitize Kibaki or Kenyatta, the people, Raila supporters, always they accept that leader who has been sanitized, or they friend that leader. And they will forgive you all your sins, even in the past, even if you have been accused of murder, you have been accused of terrorism, they'll forgive you. Right now, even current support of Raila, they are forgiving William Ruto, whatever Ruto did to Raila. But Raila has been a loser. The people who are being sanitized, if you go back to their supporters, they hate Raila to death.
mhm.
That's why even the people of Mount Kenya never voted for him in 2022. Even if the people was, if they go to market, they were campaigning. I
Yeah.
said Kibaki Tonga. I was the prime minister of the Kibaki government. I came for handshake for Uhuru Kenyatta. But there is no way you will persuade Mount Kenya to vote for Raila, even right now. William to have realized that being relevant to board doesn't make him popular in Mount Kenya, because that has been the norm of the politics of the country. And he cannot go to Mount Kenya with the Rigathi Gachagua, the current status with him, Rigathi Gachagua. He's now looking for Uhuru Kenyatta with the view they want to elevate him, that you are the Gideon kingpin, and by engaging you, the gospel of unity I'm preaching to the people of Kenya will get direct to the people of Kenya, that I mean good for the people of Kenya, that let us be united. But before unity, let us start to call for accountability, which Langat has just said in the comment section, that accountability, whatever you promised during campaigns, have we delivered them? Now we are bringing a new narrative that border-based government, unifying the Kenya, trying to go to those leaders. Those narratives will not sell. That's why even people are talking about reject in public participation, social media, because Kenyans right now, most of them are awake and they know that these are just visual tactics to make
Mhm.
someone win second term. But the person who is going to win the second term has not worked, has not performed to the people of Kenya. That's now people know how to go to that direction, that we are going to bring him back to the office.
Yeah.
What will you tell the people? How will you play his politics now? Because right now you can do anything to win that election the way he did it. As a people of Kenya, let us always, even that's why sometimes we do differ with our viewers, that the people who want Kasongo to go, even the person who is seeing loud Kasongo to go, that the people who gave Kenyans Kasongo, if they could have not voted for Kasongo, we could have not been to this mess. Next time, if they get opportunity to vote, they know themselves. Let them not vote on emotions, or let them not vote based on the tribal arrangements. Let them look for the rightful person in those offices, so that they can vote for from MCA to president.
Okay, thank you so much. I think you've witnessed where hostility, especially for those who are allied to the president, including the governor for Embu, Cecily Marire, was heckled the other day. We also saw that with the Murkomen. And if you remember very well, during the weekend, Murkomen was saying, I quote, that the reason why President Ruto is being criticized by the social media, the church, and everybody is because of his tribe. And he was saying that why are we comparing only President William Ruto to Moi, and why are we not comparing the 2 years that every each one of those presidents have been in power? What have they done? and what has Ruto done? Do you agree with the more comment that because of his tribe, that's why he's being criticized? Ayaga.
Yeah, I don't think it is because of his tribe, you know. But there is a, yes, there is an angle of tribe, you know. There is what when Moi took over, there was a Kalenjin warrior. The people who want to sold Kenya actually want to sold everything. Nothing was there. There were Kanu warrior led by Total Man to be what? May he still rest in peace. Yeah. So these people they want to sold everything in Kenya. That's why most of our companies like Kikomi went down. Brewery, they did wonders in 2 years of their presidency. They did a lot of things. That is what we are saying today. This president, if not court stops him, he wanted to even auction the KICC, the landmark of Kenya. He wanted to auction everything. If not court, even now I'm seeing they are trying to hook Uhuru Park and Central Park. Surely, yeah,
There's also
we
this.
need to give what in my mother tongue we always say sembe ipi moginyamin. I don't know how I can translate that, but we always say you compare something with something that looks like him, speaks like him, walks like him, quacks like him. Yeah? Now that's where the comparison between him and Moi it's also coming in. I think we don't compare him with Moi with the tribal. You know when Moi came in, and there were so many stories of how Moi was humble, sometimes was even being slapped by some regional police commissioners during Kenyatta. So when Moi came in, Moi had a challenge in warriors that it is our time to eat. That's where that word comes from. It is our time to eat. When this guy came in, he never came in to act. He only came in, now it is our time to eat. That's why in 2 years, your scandals even more in 5 years. Now, if we are to compare these two people, each and every president, look at Kibaki, the first 2 years of Kibaki. Were there scandals like him? No. Uhuru Kenyatta, the answer is no. Moi, the answer is no. Moi, yes. Kenyatta, the answer
Yeah,
is no.
yeah.
Yeah. So we need to say what it is, but I think the people wamechanuka. People walikuwa wanampigia. Yes, we are suffering. You know, people were just telling him, even if you want to now, they are bringing it now because we are Kalenjins. That's why we are being opposed because now he thought with the Kalenjins will fall on that trap, and he was dead wrong. And that's what make me happy that Kenyans are seeing what is happening and they will deal with you. Even if I go to Nyanza today and telling them, oh, we are in broad-based government, now we are eating well, we will heckle you. People will heckle you because you are lying to people. And I don't think this regime want to rely on called unity. Kenyans were united by the finance bill. The Gen Z unites Kenya. I don't know which Kenya they want to unite. They have tried and tried and tried to quell the Gen Z using force, using money, using tactics, and they are still realizing that Kenya is united. So they want to have something that Kenyans will accept. That's why the word unity, unity. Look at all these bloggers. Look at even what Diki has written there. Look at what Musalia Mudavadi has posted. Look at the photos of the handles of William Ruto. They are speaking of unity, unity, unity. Who is divided? Nobody is divided. We are all Kenyans. We love each other. We are not fighting. There is no fighting. There is no ethnic tension in Kenya. There is no part of Kenya you can't go today because of political tension. So I don't know which actual unity we are even speaking about in the first place.
Okay. Thank you, Ayaga. Now, I'm again at another social media platform, and I will just read what people are saying. Um, People have different reactions. Somebody say, with what Kenyans are going through, I'm not boarding. Yeah. There somebody saying, good thing is that Uhuru Kenyatta knows Mount Kenya very well. They tell their leaders what to and what not. the other way around, he can't even dare sell the name Ruto in Mount Kenya. That is another. Finally, His Excellency William Ruto has finally admitted that Kenyans need a seasoned patriotic leader keep keep Kirwa, Kitui, Onyonka, among others, not Murkomens and Farooq. That is another. Then somebody's bringing in a very interesting tribal divisions and balkanization cards has failed, and Kasongo is desperate. Yesterday, Kalajin rejected him. Luos has rejected 81 years, and it tells you how Kenyans are from the comments. Nobody, if you look at the larger percentage of Kenyans who are on social media, are giving out very, very negative comments about this impromptu or like the visit that has happened. So, and what Kenyans are going through and the issue of tribal. In fact, if Kasongo loved himself, he should not have gone to Con. Full brainwash Kenyans with the visit to Uhuru. That has ignited more anger and rejection from all Kenyans. Do you agree with him? Because from you can see from the social media. Miguda.
Kasongo, I don't know how he's playing politics currently, but the Kasongo must be aware that people of Kenya have never forgotten. People knows very well who he is. People knows him very well. People know what he's capable of doing. And I see a scenario whereby he want to ride on Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and some other leaders. So after we have done the elections, there will be a time whereby if in case he wins the forthcoming election, he will have nothing to do with the people. He'll have the blames to Raila. When he goes to Luo Nyanza, when people of Luo Nyanza or Western people, from course of people, want are asking for accountability, he will be like, Raila, when we party mood, Raila, you gave us this person. They go to Mount Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta gave us this person. Such blames, you don't want to be blamed next time, because currently it's like he's carrying all the blame. You want a scenario whereby people just blame Raila the way people blame in previous, like right now, people are blaming Gachagua. You are the one who gave us Ruto. You're the one who came with Kasongo in the Mount Kenya. You work with Kasongo. You campaign for him. He doesn't want to carry that baggage of complaint from the people of Kenya. He want to place it to Raila and Uhuru, and that might be his next move for him to win second term. Let him carry along all those opponents, so that whenever there is an accountability, the questions that they are being asked in the comment, whereby people of Kenya want to question, you will have those blame to the way previously we said that the current ODM were defending the government, the so-called expert. People of Kenyans will ask them questions. They will come back to the people. We'll ask them, okay, you're the people who are defending Kasongo, the people who are defending his projects. Right now, Kasongo is in mess, but is in denial. He doesn't want to live in reality. Let him accept the reality and make some meaningful political moves and some meaningful political strategic political alliances. But if still in denial and is trying to joke with the people of Kenya's mind, going around, those are cards we are used to the people. That's why I asked you to read the comments, and you can get the real information of the people in the comments. That's how people are reacting. I don't know how he's going to make the people to believe him in the next, for this period we have towards the election. That's up to him. He's a politician. He knows very well. Let him live with the reality of the current economy of the country and the current situation, that he can make good moves for his political future.
Okay, thank you so much. And Ayaga, I want you to paint for us a picture, because what I think here is, remember, there's been these rumors of Mutai Kagwe being appointed as the Secretary for Internal Security, which is now held by Musalia Mudavadi in acting capacity. And maybe reaching out to the president was one way in which, one, he can talk to the president to convince Mutai Kagwe, knowing very well that Mutai Kagwe is a close ally of the president. That is one. And secondly, also um, to quell the hostility that is in Mount Kenya, whereby his allies cannot penetrate, because like they're not allowed to hold rallies. Every time they go, they get this rejection. So maybe by coming to the president can come and preach unity. Then the issue of Mutai Kagwe comes in, then to make people feel like now we are united. Do you buy that, Ayaga? Zakayo is not enough now. Kasongo register Sha to help help the Ayaga,
Okay, okay.
what do you think about Mutai Kagwe? Because this by bringing in the former president, one, to be peace ambassador, to preach about the peace and unity in the Mount Kenya, two, to bring in Mutai Kagwe to show the Kenya that we are united. Are you buying that?
Yeah, I think that was the main, or if not the main, one of the problem that made President William Ruto went to Ishaweri. That must be because even that docket is a very sensitive docket. He ought have to have appoint somebody, but maybe there is a push and pull, and so he is tired talking or sending the proxies. Now he choose to go to meet Uhuru Kenyatta himself. But I think Uhuru Kenyatta, I think if he is wise politically, he might have rejected that proposal. Let just Ruto work with his own people. And I don't think Mutai Kagwe can be that much stupid. And being that is coming from Nyeri, and there is a very rebellious against this government brewing from Nyeri, I think it will not work for him. He may take that position, but he may sink with it in the near future. What I think Kasongo can do to resolve this situation, if there are people he listen to. Kasongo is that animal in huko kwetu tuliambiwa ni unamkimbiza hivi alafu anaenda anasahau alikuwa anakimbizwa kanasimama. So ni mtu unaongea na yeye sahi is trying to do things blackmail you or do whatever. Kasongo 2025 is going to be very hard for the president. We have the issues of IBC. Even if you look at the statement of Uhuru Kenyatta, his office is talking about that IBC thing.
Yeah.
The 2025 is going to be the toughest in William Ruto's political life because he's entering that year with a bad relationship from the government, from the people, from the church. And even now, Kenyans are going to demand IBC. And what Kasongo fear in IBC, formation of forming IBC now is one. If IBC is in place today, and then you try a 2 or 3 or 4 by-elections,
yeah,
and the government side loses, my friend, that will be a very bad picture, and Kasongo may run out of option. And I think that's where there is a delay. So you want to create IBC when at least he has quelled the dissenting voices. But it is not easy. Kenyans are awake and Kenyans are tired with this president. And I don't know why the Kenyans are tired from all walks of life. Uhuru Kenyatta used to have opposition, but he also used to have supporters. Yeah. But this one, it is a unison thing. I don't know who they are uniting. Maybe there are some Kenyans in their own mind that are divided. But to people on the ground, the same language being spoken in central Kenya is the same language in Rift Valley, is the same language in Nyanza, is the same language in Coast, is the same language in Northeastern and the rest of Kenya. So I think president need to go back to the drawing board, implement at least 3 or 4, because the issue of SHA is a good thing. Even to me, it is a very great idea. Yeah. But the way you are bringing it, we can't create an institution like judiciary or whatever. When judiciary is wrong, we demolish judiciary and then create another justice system. We had NHIF. Why can't we ensure that we upgrade that NHIF? Why are we removing that, destroying it, and building another new one from scratches? The same way they are building houses. You get even the Talanta Hela, where that stadium is. We used to have a stadium there. In Kenya, we have so many land. We have so many public places that are being grabbed. Instead of upgrading another stadium and build a new one, they are going to remove the already existing one and start a new one. The same two houses. That's why people are opposing. How can you destroy a two-bedroom house in Woodley to build a one-bedroom house? Actually, which calculation this government is using? Either I think there is somebody sabotaging this government from within. Also,
Okay.
they thought it is Gachagua. Maybe they are realizing it is not Gachagua, and is now going to Uhuru Kenyatta to ask, my friend, you know you left the system. Now tell me how these people can accept me, so that these people should stop actually sabotaging my project, because I am seeing a hand of project or lack of professionalism. Because look at the cabinet. We have the worst cabinet in the history of this country. Even me, I sit here, I don't know even the name of Minister of Education. I don't know, I can't even remember the name. Yeah? They are nowhere to be seen. They are making unpopular policies with the Kenyans. So I think it will be very hard for him. But if I was him,
Yeah.
ningeenda in isolation for 6 good months, then come out for now.
Thank you so much. What is Laban saying? Let the church report anything they have EACC, since headed by one of their own. That is Laban view. And in another, I'm still on the X platform, and as comments continue to come in, somebody saying this. Ruto must go is a constant, whether visit nani, hiyo iko. Aliye juu mngoje chini. You have a new kingpin in Rigiji, no blur lines. Yeah. Kenyans are just about to be played. Wait and see Mutai Kagwe and Uhuru Kenyatta appointees making it back to the government to ensure that the political class stays safe in 2027. I said about this. The issue of Mutai Kagwe is being raised also with one person on X here. Ruto is stranded, ajui afanye nini wala atende nini. Maskini kijana yetu William Ruto. Taking photos together doesn't mean anything. Politicians are all the same. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Kenyans respect and love your neighbors. Don't trust politicians. Kenya has have to wait until 2032 when they want to when they want changes in government. It is Ruto who needs Uhuru. Ruto is clueless of so he wants to appoint new cabinet. So mtu amesema Ruto maliza uende, none is good, ameenda kupea pepo kidogo Rigiji arudi gava. Even if Ruto meets with God, I don't he can change. He has hard heart, anakaa farao. Tubebe ufala, but Ruto must go. So those are some of the comments. And I tell you, like when you go to the social media has so many, what is happening now. And how will this one happen? And now, when we look at maybe in terms of patriotic and the role that is played by the office of the fourth president, yeah, that was in order just to go and seek advice. There's nothing wrong with the president going and seeking advice. Or Miguda, what do you think?
No one has said that it is wrong to go and seek advice.
Yeah,
Kenyans have not said that. But just a phone call, you can seek advice from a phone call. What was the purpose of taking a photo and displaying them on social media? That is what we are discussing here.
yeah, that's
The purpose of having that photo and displaying the social media. What was the intention? What was the intention of that meeting?
to
Because
let
if it's just an ordinary advice, they could have not even displayed it. Because they do talk on a daily basis. Brother Benson, some people think that this is the first time Uhuru is meeting Ruto, or this is the first time Uhuru is talking to Ruto. They are in constant call. And let me just tell you, There have been boardrooms meetings. There have been those meetings that have been happening behind the scenes. Very many meetings. This is not the first time they are meeting. In the eyes of the public or Kenya, they think that this is the first time they are meeting, the first time they are talking since they part ways. These people even they talked even when Ruto was being declared by Chebukati as the IBC, even before the declaration of the result. They had a phone calls. These people talk and they talk. So there is no way you can say that it is. We have not said it's wrong to seek advice. What we are saying is that Ruto is trying to create imagination to the people of Kenya that as things stand right now, I'm the president, I'm engaging people across the board. Even I'm engaging former president whom we part ways some years back. Now we are together for the purposes of the unity of the country. And anybody who is anti for unity in the country, we will send you home. The way he said, he sent Gashagwa home because Gashagwa was talking about tribalism. That is a picture president is trying to put in the imagination of the people that right now we are together. They are together even behind the scenes. They are in course behind the scenes. Advice they are seeing by the scenes. If it's not about trying to create that imagination to the people that they are uniting Kenyans, that there is interest in this meeting. And this interest, they want to people that you saw him visiting Uhuru and you saw them having photos at Ichaweri. Why? Let us discuss this thing into details now. Why was it put at Ichaweri? Why can't he
Because
meet
I,
Uhuru residents in Nairobi? Why can't they even meet in New York, even Germany? Why was it at Ichaweri? There was intention that he was trying to speak to the people of Mount Kenya that I'm president of the Republic of Kenya. I've come down to an extent of visiting someone at his local village. He's trying to speak to the people of Mount Kenya. He's trying to appeal to them that I've engaged one of your leaders because there have been talks of the town that why can't you engage the people of Mount Kenya? You are just engaging Raila, and if he wants to engage Raila, you are saying it's unity. Does it mean that unity for Raila is for Kenyan people? He's trying now to tell people, no, I've even come down to your village and talked to one of your leader, the former president. This is my purpose for unity. That if it's not that unity, then it's trying to there was an interest. And this interest, people, I don't know why people are narrowing down to Mutai Kagwe, but let us have a broader perspective. In the previous regime, in the composition of the cabinet secretaries, it was not full of Mount Kenya. There were people outside Mount Kenya in that cabinet composition.
yeah,
There were people like Matiangi in that cabinet composition. Even you have heard the rising of Matiangi in the social media, X Spaces, TikTok. They talk about bring Matiangi, bring Matiangi, bring Matiangi. Does it mean that they want to cool this pressure of Matiangi by engaging Uhuru Kenyatta that give us one of your cabinet? Let us not narrow it to Mutai Kagwe. There are many people that can be brought, maybe Mutai or Matiangi, so that it can cool the temperature of Matiangi. That's why we are saying Kasongo doesn't care whatever you are. He just want his government to be stabilized by any formation, whichever way. Let us stabilize it. We can work up to 27. Then from 27, we can see how we can capture power. Then I say goodbye to the Kenyan people as I finish my 10 years in office. You have said that in my last submission, you have said that we are not going to compare Kasongo with Kibaki and Uhuru because then they have had their 10 years. But let us also, there are segments. The late Magufuli. Magufuli was never worked in the office for 10 years. Magufuli had some, even he never finished his term. But whatever Magufuli did in a neighboring country, you cannot compare with whatever Kasongo has done here in Kenya. We had this woman in the current president of Tanzania, Suluhu. Suluhu has not made it for second term, but look at the political stability of that country is incomparable with the political stability of Kenya. If he does not want us to compare him with the Musevenis, with the late Mwai Kibaki or Uhuru, we can even compare him with his age mates. We know his age mates around. There are his age mates around. Those people who have not gone for second terms are around in the continent. Let us compare him those people who have gone for whatever how they have stabilized the economy and how they've stabilized the political stability of that country compared to Kenya. That's why we are saying if there is a problem, we must call it out. And if calling a problem out, people are viewing you as someone as an enemy of the state, then we can live with these problems. Then you can face them.
yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. I can see Makobura on the comment section. Hello, I hope you're doing well. And um Let me engage Ayaga. Ayaga, you remember the same weekend we had former President Uhuru Kenyatta was attending the wedding ceremony for uh, Kalonzo Musyoka, where quite a number of leaders were there. That was include Eugene Wamala, Jeremiah Kioni. Those were notable. Raila Odinga was missing, and this was sending signal, and people would thought that since Gachagua and Kalonzo are in talks, and Uhuru Kenyatta attending that wedding as a senior most citizen in terms of politics, it was that Uhuru might have endorsed um, the political formation that is coming between Gachagua and Kalonzo. But now again today we are seeing President meeting um, Uhuru Kenyatta. What is your take on that?
Politicians also always do meet. They do speak, and sometimes when we were discussing the Gashagua's impeachment, I said something that I think it is coming to be true. That when Raila said that Uhuru Kenyatta called him to join Ruto, I said maybe these politicians realized that the political class was threatened. So Raila was sent there to do what we call the damage control. And when the damage is controlled kidogo, the likes of Kalonzo and Eugene Wamalwa who are still backing, there is a way they will be managed and placed into a government in a certain way that Kenyans will not realize. And if by the design the politics is going, I think we are heading to that direction. And if that is so, I ask my fellow Kenyans and I'm pleading with them that we should not allow the political establishment to continue exploiting this country in the name of shamble like democracy. We need to cleanse this country once and for all. Even if it will take a revolution, let it be. But we need not to listen to politicians because these people, they are telling us they disagree. We think they disagree, yet they don't disagree. Yet I know there are only two factors in politics. Only two factors that are always constant: interest and betrayal. So this time they are betraying the Kenyan people and they are serving their interest together. If actually Uhuru Kenyatta, Kalonzo Musyoka will join the race together, because I think Musalia Mudavadi is out, and then it's not Musalia Mudavadi. I think Gachagua is out of the fold. He's now a lone ranger who will fight his own wars if Kalonzo will not work with him. I remember there is another man who used to be Linjiru, who used to be Moi's, I think, PA.
Yeah.
He called the Raila, Uhuru Kenyatta, Musalia Mudavadi, Kalonzo Musyoka. He called them political cousins. He called them, these are political cousins. They are like who if you go as a human being to hunt in the forest to hunt wolves, remember the dogs and the wolves, they are cousins. They might join forces to turn against you, the hunter. That's where Kenyans need to be very careful. Uhuru Kenyatta is just a wolf, William Ruto may be a dog, and Raila Odinga and the likes may be a wild beast. So these people are cousins politically. They are brothers. They might join forces anytime they are feeling that their political capital is threatened. They will come together to try to quell it with all forces and tricks possible. And I think Kenyans need to be very careful. Sahi, I'm watching Kasongo is doing a town hall. And I say Kasongo will do all this town hall for sometimes. I think this December he must be a very busy man to try to quell this political tension that is rising, because he's fighting with people he doesn't know. You know, we in Kenya, we are a tribal ethnic tribal arithmetic, where you will say, I'm a president, I'm from Kalenjin, the Kikuyus are fighting, all the Luos are fighting, all the Kambas are fighting, all the Masais are fighting. But this time round, he has no enemy. Enemies are all corners. If he goes to Central, they are being heckled. If they are in Rift Valley, they are being heckled. If they went to Coast, it is not easy for them. They went to Turkana, it's not easy for them. So it is not easy. I even him, I know where he is in his shoes, is really suffering.
Okay, now let's look something about the issue of IBC, and one of the things that has made IBC to 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 stall is because there was disagreement between the Kalonzo Musyoka and I think is in the Azimio there was that disagreement because there's somebody that whom they prefer should be there, somebody could somebody that was proposed I think by Wiper, which I think the Orange Democratic do not want that person to be there. Yeah. And now it is now blame game. It's not the government, it's now the opposition. And Kalonzo also is now also complaining about the same, yet they know what is happening. Is this something that they are playing they are playing to the gallery, yet they know what is taking place?
I believe that the delayance of composition of the IBC commission, it's by design.
Mm,
It's by design because of the previous event that unfolded after the election, where we had 4 IBC commissioners dissent to the opinion of the chair, and that is something that is unprecedented in the country. By going forward, if someone wants to appoint those IBC commission,
mm,
they must be very careful, particularly for the current president, who has that final thing about the commission of the IBC. He must be with that. Let him have his people. That's why you have had from ODM, they are complaining about the proposal of the person from Wiper, because for you to go to that composition of that commission, people must be aware because of the previous happening and understand even how they were ejected out of the office. These are things that are unprecedented in the country, and that's why I can say that, in my view, it is from the UDA, it's by design that they have to delay that composition of the IBC, because you have heard Gachagua talking about it after he was impeached, but before he was impeached, he
mm.
was not even touching about the issue of IBC. Within the political class, they might know what's up in the IBC composition. What I want to say before the issue of IBC is that, in my view, when Ruto went for Raila for the broad-based government, there were some rumors before that Gachagua is likely to work with Raila in 2027. There was rumors that Gachagua and Mount Kenya people are likely to work with Raila 2027. Ruto saw it was that before they go for Raila, let me go and take Raila away from them because I'm the person who has the power.
Yeah.
And right now, there have been rumors also that the Azimio, the Kalonzo factor, Kioni, Eugene, they were, they said, even Kioni was saying that wako na Uhuru, wako na Matiang'i. Ruto saw that before these people go for Matiang'i and Uhuru, let me go for Uhuru and Matiang'i ahead of them. This destabilizing his future opponents by making sure that there is no alliance between Raila and the people of Mount Kenya. There's no alliance between the Azimio and the people of Mount Kenya. In his view, is destabilizing his future opponents and is destabilizing the strategic alliance that can give him run for his money in 2027, or that can give him sleepless night 2027. That is what he did by engaging Raila, and now by engaging Uhuru Kenyatta. He's trying to destabilize any future alliances or any formation that could be a threat to his future as he runs for the second term.
Okay. Ayaga, and maybe on a patriotic view, because the installment of IBC that in the cases that we have in the courts, yeah, or Kenyans are being held hostage because a political class cannot agree that who is going to sit there or who is going to represent them or who should be there, who should not be compromised. But we have Kenyans who are very patriotic, who do not have affiliation to this political party, then how can we um, say or agree that our election are going to be credible if the political class still have the interest in an institution that is called independent? So where is that independency?
The issue of IBC, I think it is about lack of political will, you know, because if you look at what is the problem with Kalonzo appoint, I think, a certain man, and he later realized that man is not competent for that position, and they want to change the name. I don't know why somebody goes to court for that, and I don't know why court takes a lot of time about that. Kalonzo told them, "We can give you a name in 2 hours. We just tell you because you know political interests change, and in these issues of IBC, we have a lot of interest and a lot of political games that come through. I might appoint Miguda, then realize, oh, Miguda also have some Jay-Z opponent. He will not work on my favor. I just change it. I just change him. That is not a very big problem. So I think it is a lack of political goodwill. And I think we need to create a constitutional bodies that can actually appoint people, commissioners like IBC minus politics. You know, our problem in Africa is that you get a teams are appointing the referees. Yeah, teams appointing their referees. Even if you go to FIFA today, you can't ask Manchester, you know, Manchester, because you will be playing with Chelsea, who can be the best referee. And Manchester and Chelsea are sitting down with Arsenal, with Liverpool, with Man City, and then they're giving 4 6 best referees. That's where our problem is. We need to have a strong, where we can say even the judiciary can vet, parliament vet these people and give us credible people, minus the president and the political parties, or even the religious leaders, or even we form a public something like a public commission inquiry so that we can appoint these people. We need not to give the politicians everything. When we need to appoint high Supreme Court judges, the president, it is that president who will lose the election and take the case to those people. He will obviously he will choose people who will favor him. If we need the IBC, the president and the political parties, the players, even me, I will have to place somebody who is serving my interest in that. Now, that's where our problem is. We need to have institution that actually remove us away from this issue of even the IBC. I was reading the Constitution of United States, and I'm yet to be told who is the election chairman of US who declares the president. I was told it is media. That's even a work that a media can do in Kenya. If we give a media a good time, and we ensure that media is free and fair enough to do this, why should we leave everything in the hand of politicians? Mute, mute, unmute.
Okay, so there's what we call Associated Press. Yeah, the Associated Press are the people who can call that president has won, even if the media stations um, have the numbers, because they usually have those numbers, you know. And if you come to majority of the I mean the states, they have what we call the Secretary of the State. The Secretary of the State are the people who are is the office that is involved, especially when it comes to the election, you know. And they are people that oversee, especially the Secretary of State. He oversees the the election. And what usually happens, the Secretary of the State will always be elected depending on what party and you belong, because these are especially when you go to Georgia, place like Georgia, the Secretary of the State will always come from um, Republican. And even though they come from Republican, but now when it comes to executing the office mandate, yeah, you have to do what is right. Yeah, remember the last election, what happened, not this one, the previous, between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, where Trump was having an issue with the Secretary of State of Georgia because Joe Biden won Georgia, you know. So that is what is happening. So when the president has won, the Associated Press will call. They can give. They're the people who are calling, but the other the other press will say that we project. There's that projection. We project so and so will win, but the Associated Press will say so and so has won, and it's done in a transparent manner that everybody agree to it. So when we come to the issue of Kenya, yeah, Ruto will win a golden win by scoring by a hand. Yes, that is there. So when we come to the issue of Kenya, and I'm looking at this, if the political class are not agreeing who's supposed to be sitting over there, what is going to make it quite much different with what we had last year? Because if you look at the last general election, the Cherera Four, they were pushing for certain quarters interest. Their main aim was not even to perform the work that were given by Kenyans, but they were supposed to checkmate what are the other people who are pushing the other side interest, are doing. That's why they could not agree on the results. Yeah. And maybe when they were in there, they could give reports to the people that appointed them. And that's where the problem is. And that problem, we are going to encounter it in 2027. There's nothing going to be quite much different. Yeah, because the people, the commissioners that you want to sit in those uh, offices are the people, kwa Kiswahili tunawaita vibaraka. Yeah? Wanakaa hapo kwa ajili ya mavibaraka zao. Yeah? Kama ingekuwa ni kwamba hawana haja, kila Mkenya ako na haki ya kukua hapo, na wanasiasa sana sana hawasikubaliwe kukua ati hao ndio lazima waseme nani na nani ndiye akue hapo. Kama ni hivyo, bado tu zile shida ambazo tuko nayo katika tukichaguana ama tukienda katika uchaguzi zitakuwepo tu, hakuna kitu itabadilika. Ama Yaga, wewe unaona vipi?
Yeah. If you read even in our constitution, they are saying the election ends at the polling station. That's where
Yeah.
the presiding officer is. Then it takes that to constituency level, where the returning officer actually again declares the results at the constituency level. I think the election should end there. And I think if we have media will be placed everywhere and on the ground, we need not to have even electoral chairman. We just need to add what all the returning officers are saying, and then project, and then have the president, instead of this one person that after returning officer declared the presidency somewhere, these things goes all along being manipulated, and then that man on the top is called the chairman, is also manipulated in a certain way. So I think we need also to look at our laws to allow us ensure that election ends at the constituency level. Because if you look at the way, we will have election in all constituencies, in all. So once we have in all constituencies, which means election is very important at the constituency level. So I think, according to me, we need to relook at. So we need not to have this pull and push at the top of forming a crooks that will also take country into a disarray.
Yaga, what saa zingine kinashangaza ni kuwa unapata baada ya kufanya uchaguzi ama mpaka imesabika mtu, you have to travel physically kupeleka form, unatoka huko mpaka Nairobi. Kwa nini? Katika hii karne ambayo tuseme kwamba watu wameendelea kiteknolojia. Unajua kweli kama umepata kura mbili katika tuseme mahali station fulani umepata kura mbili, haja gani wewe kupanda ndege? Lazima tunakusubiri ulete kura mbili ambao umepata na nyaraka hizo utuletee huko, ndio mtu akuja confirm. unaona, na teknolojia imeendelea. Kwa hivyo ikifika hii mambo ya IEBC naona kama tu ni mchezo ambayo labda watu ambao wanasiasa ama wale vigogo wanasiasa, ni mchezo tu kupotezea sisi wakati na kufanya zile vitu ambazo zitakuwa zinawafavor hao wenyewe, unaona? Kwa sababu hata yeah,
Exactly. It is history yote is a political game and politicians are doing it to benefit them.
yeah, and mimi unajua pahali ambao sasa sikubaliani na hata wale ambao wanasema ni rais. Yeah, I'm not supporting the president, but it is not only the president who is because like people blame the president for that. How can you blame the president yet His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka is somebody who he nominated, who he feels he should not be there? Yeah. So just because the way Justice Lenaola said, like now the Azimio is holding Kenyan hostage, just because of one person, they could not agree with that person. The IBC yezi kubalika. Kwa sababu hao ndio watu peke yao ambao wanaweza. Na kwa nini lazima wakuwe na usemi katika vitu ambazo zinahusisha wananchi? Mbona tu wananchi pia wasikuwe waseme kwamba ni hichi huyu ndio sisi tunamtaka? Kwa sababu ule mtu utamweka pale atakuwa ni kibaraka wako, atakuwa anakuambia nani alikuwa anataka kuiba, alifanya hichi na hichi, na hizo ndio vitu ambavyo
Exactly. I think what we need to do, and this thing is in all in Africa. It's not even Kenya. It is an African problem. So we need to sit down as African people and actually look for a best system that works for us. But it is only Africa where we have this mentality that you can't win, you can't lose against a sitting president. Yeah, you can't lose against a sitting president. He will manipulate his way through the appointing of IBC. Even people like Kalonzo, even if they lost the election, they will still have interest in it. So it is a political game that the politicians are using actually to divide the Kenyans, because you can rule people easily when they're divided. And I think what the politicians are doing best is to divide the Kenyans. And once the Kenyans are divided, is when they can rule Kenya peacefully. You can't rule a united force that are reasoning together collectively and bargaining for themselves. It is not easy.
Unajua Yaka, kuna ile mambo kuaminiana. Unajua kama unaamini mtu kwamba ni mtu mzuri, hauna shida, kwa sababu unajua kwamba unamwamini na una thamani. Una ile thamani, umempatia thamani ya aina yake. Lakini kama unapata pia hata hawa wanasiasa wakubwa ikifika hapo palipa uchaguzi ama kuweka wale Wakenya ambao watasimamia uchaguzi wetu, ni kama hawajiamini. Hata hao wenyewe kwa wenyewe wanasema mimi lazima nilete mtu ambaye ataangalia maslahi yangu pale. Ni hao tu. Sasa Wakenya sasa utataka waamini hiyo kitu aje? Waamini hata huyo mtu ambaye umemleta. Kwa sababu unaona kwamba wewe unataka hisia zako na matakwa yako ndio ishughulikiwe. Ni kwamba kwa sababu mimi naenda kuwania urais ya nchi ya Kenya, na katika tume ya uchaguzi wangu lazima akuwe. Kwa nini? Mbona asikuwe Mkenya ambaye amechaguliwa na Wakenya? Mbona tu sasa nyinyi kama watu mavigogo tu wa siasa tu, nyinyi ndio hamkubali, na mpaka ikafika mahali mnaenda mpaka kotini kwamba huyu mtu asikuwe hapo? Kwa nini? Mbona mnaenda kotini? Yeah.
Kwanza kuenda koti pia ni, for now, for Kalonzo to be to withdraw that case, there will be money. I think in Kenya everything is a money making way, a money making machines, because I'm telling you, even those 3 or 4 court cases, they will not be withdrawn freely by those people, so that we have IBC. There are people who need to be bribed. So it is corruption. It is corruption we are talking about. Hii ni corruption. In Kenya, everything they're doing it so that they make money.
unaona hapo unasema hiyo corruption. Sasa mtu anataka lazima mtu amuite kando, tafadhali wewe ende utoe ile kesi bana, ili mambo iendelee. Na kwa kweli hata wewe unajua vizuri kwamba muda inayoyoma, tumebakia karibu miaka mitatu, watu wanaenda uchaguzi. Ukiangalia hali ya siasa, hali imechemka saizi eh? Imechemka. Kitu chochote ambacho utafanya itakuwa ni kisiasa, hata kama uko na nia mzuri, lazima siasa itaingizwa ndani. Unaona?
Hivyo ndio maana nasema wanasiasa saa hii wanakuja pamoja kwa sababu wanaona the kind of resistance Kenyans are having with all politicians. I'm telling you, even William Ruto, even Kalonzo Musyoka, Kenyans do not love Kalonzo Musyoka. What we are doing, we are just trying to compare the bad and who is more bad than the other. Yeah,
Yes.
that's where we are. Hapo ndio tuko. But all these people, the political establishment we have as we speak in Kenya, even including Rigathi Gachagua, these people are rot. And mimi kama Mkenya naweza penda sana tupate watu wapya wale they are coming from nowhere and winning the presidency so that we can try a fresh blood.
Mimi Kenya naweza sema sitakubali. Mimi sitakubali kwa sababu mimi naona kwamba kuna ile naweza sema ya sana sana hawa wanasiasa pia kiongozi wa Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka, sidhani kama anatuambia ukweli, kwa sababu huwezi kuwa unasema rais kila wakati, ukisimama unasema rais lazima afanye juhudi chini ya kuangalia mambo ya IEBC, na wewe kweli unajua kwamba kuna tatizo ambayo nyinyi wenyewe kama Azimio kuna kutokubaliana kati yenu, alafu kule ukikuja kwa press unatuambia rais. Sio hiyo ni kwamba hata kama ndio huyo, I'm not supporting the president, but even if the president is facing hostility and is being criticized for not doing good, it's okay. But you know what is happening about the IEBC? You know the case that is, or there is that case that is before the judges, and which was actually maybe filed by the people that you know, and you are telling the president, hey, you need to constitute IEBC. Na unajua shida iko wapi? Shida iko na rais ule mwenye amekataa, ama shida iko kwa sababu umeenda kotini?
Unajua brother Benson, ukiangalia hii maneno ya IEBC, hawa watu wanazungumza ni kama ni maneno mpya, ni kama ni kitu imetokelezea last week. Pia hiyo ndio basi zingine nasema politicians, they are very clever people, they know how to manage people. You need now the issue of Gachagua is gone. Now let us give Kenya another useless thing so that they can discuss and keep them busy. You know, the issue of IBC, since the Gachagua, the Cherera, and the end term of the chairman one, Kebukati, we have now like 2 years. This thing has been all along. We are now discussing it as if we have not, like we have just arrived in Kenya like 2 weeks ago, alafu tunapata tuna IBC, hatuna tume cha uchaguzi. Now hapa wanasiasa wanakanganya watu, and they are using this to divide Kenyans, because there are Kenyans that will see now it is William Ruto who is bad, it is Kalonzo that is saying the truth. Some people will, Kalonzo is the one who is defending us, the William Ruto. Even Rigathi Gachagua, he was in office, he knew before he was tweeted out, he knew the issue of IBC is here. He never spoke even at a word on it.
Oh yes, and now he's now telling the government of IBC. Our leaders are not very sincere with us. Our leaders are not very sincere with us. And look at, if I want to tell you how, wewe utakuja hapo unapiga kelele, ikifika saa zile za kupiga sherehe, ma wedding, you're not there in their wedding. What happened? Did you see any ordinary Kenyans in that wedding? Na mtu anakuambia watu waelewani. Ulikuwa hapo Kenya bwana?
Exactly. Those are the questions we need to ask.
hata in terms of social, saa zile watu utaenda pale kwa club hawako, lakini ikifika wakati ambapo watoto wao wanafunga pingu za maisha eh? Yeah? Watoto wao wanapiga pingu za maisha wananiambia Ayaga, asante sana kwa kukuja. Najua kesho tutaangalia tuone maneno itakuwaje. So most of the time I will be engaging you in this, but hii mambo ya IEBC mimi naona kama tulaumu rais, tulaumu hao watu wote. Hakuna tunasema rais ndio mbaya. Hao watu wote tuwalaumu. See, it's not only the president. Hiyo hata kama mtu atasema mimi hapo na support, I don't support the president, but this single-handedly pointing at the president should constitute yet. Somebody has got to stop that. What do you want the president to do? So His Excellency Kalonzo Musyoka should come out on point and say, okay, withdraw the case and life goes on. Kama hapo kishatoa hakuna kesi mahakamani, sasa rais akikataa, ndio sasa Wakenya wakuja wamwambie bana, we inafaa utupatie IEBC. Lakini mimi kitu nawahimiza Wakenya, inabidi saa zingine sisi tufikirie, tujue tutaenda wapi ama tujue tunataka serikali gani. Unajua ukiangalia unajua huwezi panda mbegu au tuseme kama umepanda mbegu kama mahindi, lakini ikifika siku ya kuvuna unataka kuvuna maharagwe, itakuwa si rahisi sana. So kwa hiyo mimi nataka kuwashukuru kwa wale wote ambao wamekuwa na sisi katika kipindi hadi kesho. Najua kesho pia tutakuwa na mazungumzo na wenzangu na najua tutazungumza mengi. Ningependa kuchukua hii nafasi kuwapigia asante sana kwa wale ambao wamekuwa na mimi hadi kesho. Thank you so much and may God bless you.